Oh man, hey everyone, me Kevin here. This market is crazy. It's nuts. And no, I don't mean crazy and nuts. That on January 23rd, I said in a video the market will likely fall an additional 20%. I was wrong. It fell an additional 23% before bottoming out. No, that's not crazy. It's just mostly lucky. But what's crazy is that on one hand, you've got companies like Robinhood, Amazon, and Tesla cutting jobs, and Google and Facebook freezing hiring and threatening layoffs. We're technically in a recession, at least if you use the technical definition of a recession and not the political definition of a recession. And company earnings, while they're coming in a little bit slower, are still mostly above expectations, leading to large rebounds in stocks like Coinbase, up nearly 100% from the time Cathie Wood sold. She literally dumped about 1.3 million shares, and it pretty much doubled since then. Tesla up over 50% from its lows in the last 2 months, and companies like Uber, SoFi, DoorDash, and Cloudflare are all jumping 10 to 30% after their earnings. Even companies that miss earnings like Airbnb are seeing their share prices just in general rise after short declines. And yet, at all of this might seem bad, we still have an unemployment report that came out this morning that literally came in twice as hot as expected, with more hiring than expected by the tune of a twofold, a prior revision up in the amount of jobs we created. So we're getting still more hiring and an unemployment rate that's actually falling, yet things are supposed to be bad. So this is really, really weird and kind of leaves us with this feeling of like a lack of direction. Are we going up? Are we going down? What's going on? And what are the two freaking warnings that we gotta watch out for? Well, we're gonna talk about those. Just a side note, I have conducted research that rivals the research that Twitter has done into how many bots they have on their platform. And this research involves the YouTube bots, gods, mods, bots, and everything telling me that maybe my YouTube channel will finally grow and people will click the subscribe button again if I just post fewer, higher quality videos and skip live streams. Therefore, unfortunately, I had to make the decision based on, well, YouTube literally sending me a text message going, "You're an idiot." And once again, flip-flop on live streams, and I am bringing the Market Open live streams in-house to course members only, daily at 6 a.m. If you want to get lifetime access to those courses on building your wealth, check out the coupon code, and you also get access to not only the recorded lectures, but the updated lectures, private live streams with me, and you'll be getting first dibs to invest in the company that I'm launching soon. Many details to come on that, of course. Now, boom. That might have been a mouthful, but let's talk about warning number one. Warning number one is all about data, folks. Between now and the next Federal Reserve meeting on September 21st, when we're likely to see another interest rate hike, the Federal Reserve has told us to watch for two major data points. Number one, jobs. We have two jobs reports between now and when the Federal Reserve is likely going to raise rates again, August 5th and September 2nd. And we have CPI readings coming out August 10th and September 13th. And let me just put it very simply. If these readings are bad, the market is going to have to price in a higher likelihood of the Federal Reserve giving us a little bit more of a spanking, because what the Federal Reserve is trying to do is drive interest rates up so that people and businesses spend less money and feel less rich. The problem is, this is all going to get worse if the data that comes in, again, August 5th, September 2nd, August 10th, and September 13th, jobs and CPI, if that data comes in hot, which could mean the economy is still overheated or doing very, very well and companies and businesses and people are still spending money like crazy, then the Fed's going to have to talk more dirty to us, and it's going to drive the market down, because the Fed is mad that even though the Fed is like, we need everybody to stop spending as much money, everybody keeps spending money. In fact, according to The Economist, most people, when asked about the economy, say the economy is bleak and doing terribly. But most people, when they're asked about their own personal finances, say they're doing great, way better than they did in 2019, even with higher gas prices and higher energy costs. People feel great about their own personal finances, and their net wealth is substantially higher in many cases than what it was in 2019, right before the pandemic. So, what does this tell us about watching data? Well, first, again, this morning, we had a crazy jobs report. We were expecting 250,000 jobs to come in, and what did we end up getting? Well, we ended up with 528,000 jobs created. That is over 2 times. That is an example of a hot reading. And immediately, the NASDAQ went from positive 20 basis points to negative 1%. Boom! Instantaneously after that hot jobs report came out. But folks, that's just one out of 4 data sets that we have coming up. The next is the CPI report, which comes out on August 10th, where we're going to be looking for inflationary pressures. And I'll tell you, even the jobs report that just came out here August 5th didn't help us at all with with inflationary expectations, because we had an average hourly earnings expectation of 0.3%, that is wages potentially went up 0.3% month over month. We missed that. They actually went up 0.5%, which means rather than seeing an annualized rate of 3.6% for job wage growth, it actually came in at 6% annualized. That's bad. Again, telling the Fed, we got twice as many jobs and wages are going up faster than expected. This is double bad. On top of that, we got the year-over-year measure, which was expected to be 4.9%, coming in at 5.2%. So we literally got 3 hot pieces of data in the August 5th report. But hey, we get to look forward to August 10th next, which is when that CPI report comes in. The CPI report, Consumer Price Index, this is how we measure inflation generally. The Federal Reserve uses a similar one called PCE, but we generally watch CPI in the public eye. Hey, that rhymes. And here's what's wild. In the last inflation report, we had a month-over-month increase of prices of 1.3%. However, in the August 10th report, we're expecting that inflation is only going to move up on a month-over-month basis by 0.2%. Now, that initially sounds good because it's like, yeah, Elon Musk is right. Inflation's going down. Inflation's transitory. Inflation's going to go down, which I have to say, I believe that at some point inflation will go down as well, but just because I believe inflation will go down at some point doesn't mean that I can lie to myself or anyone else and say that we don't have a problem here. Well, this jobs report this morning was a problem, and what I personally believe is we've got a big problem with the CPI report coming out, because if the expectation is that inflation on a month-over-month basis is going to be 0.2%, and that on a year-over-year basis it's going to go down to 8.7%, personally, I think there's a really good chance we're gonna miss at least one of those numbers. That means we might see inflation on a month-over-month basis come in at 0.4% or 0.5%. And even though that's lower inflation than what we've been used to, because last month prices went up 1.2%, it's still going to be higher than expectations. It could drive the market down. So you could literally see the market go down after August 5th jobs, the market go down after August 10th CPI, and then we repeat the process again for jobs on September 2nd and September 13th. And so you have to be very careful of these dangers. But you also have to be careful of the very next danger. And this very next danger is one that is probably the most critical. But first, a message from our sponsor, ClickUp. But first, I want to thank today's sponsor, ClickUp. As you guys may know by now, I'm a pretty busy guy, and keeping up with everything going on through a bunch of different tools and project management platforms can sometimes end up costing me more time than it saves, and it's really frustrating. Thankfully, today's sponsor is ClickUp, which is a perfect all-in-one solution to finally stay on top of all the things that actually help save you time. ClickUp is a work management platform whose features can flex to all of your needs. Whether you're building product roadmaps, launching a marketing campaign, or supporting clients from all around the globe, ClickUp is a fully customizable platform to help you organize and get productive with alignment and visibility. My favorite part of ClickUp is that it allows me to check on updates of any of my business ventures from a single place. Again, easily organized. I can check on my tasks, my projects, my chats, my docs, my goals, my spreadsheets, and more. Best of all, it's great for scaling since ClickUp can support any team size from 1 person to over 1,000 people. So join the over 800,000 highly productive teams using ClickUp today. And make sure to use code MEETKEVIN to get 15% off ClickUp's massive unlimited plan for a year, which means you can reclaim your time for under $5 per month. Again, use code MEETKEVIN at checkout when you use my link below in the description. With that said, let's get back to the video. Now, folks, the second big danger, and this one's really, really important because, folks, take a look at this chart right here. This chart might seem overwhelming. Let's keep it very, very simple. Basically, if you go all the way back to the post-war era, which is like the 40s and 50s, you're going to find that there have been very, very few dates or periods of time where the stock market has gone from negative 7% on the S&P 500 to positive 7% the next month. And folks, on screen here are the returns that you could have potentially seen if you were in the market at the time. 1 month out, 3 months out, 6 months out, and 12 months out in time. Now, what's wild about this is we just had one of those occur on July 29th. We went from negative 7% in June to positive 7%, actually more than positive 7% in July. And that sets up the odds that we could, if we're at all average right here, see some substantial returns in the stock market over the next 1, 3, 6, and 12 months. And this sets up the potential danger that combines with danger number one. Danger number one says if we continue to get bad reports, we could end up seeing some of these right here. See these two instances where we actually had red numbers, where on the 1 month we fell 5% or on the 3 month we fell 3%? That could happen again. We could see another test of some of the lows that earnings right now are really affirming. If you actually go and look at the NASDAQ, for example, via QQQ, you could see that we hit a beautiful bottom on June 16th, and we've retraced over 38% from then. But with some of these reports coming in hot or expected to come in hot, we could quickly see a retracement not just down to the 318 level for the NASDAQ, but maybe even down back to 299 or retest that bottom at 268. But based on this chart, we should probably be anticipating green if we hold and get in. And that really sets up the big next danger, which is not being in this market. Yes, there can still be bad news, but all signs are pointing to, over time, even if it takes a little longer than expected, inflation's probably going to go down. This economy's still killing it. Earnings are holding up, spending's holding up, jobs are holding up. And yeah, that means the Fed's gonna talk a little more dirty to us, but all it's going to do is give us more of a buying opportunity. And no, I don't just mean a buying opportunity to get in with me on my Series A or to get in on the courses on building your wealth and those market open live streams, which we're going to do for course members. Use that coupon code down below, but a buying opportunity in the market. And folks, if you found this video helpful, do me a favor. Hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe, because we got to get back to growth.